What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Card shows are a booming. At least the ones that I've seen, the ones that I've gone to, my neck of the woods. And I kind of want to talk about that today, but also this is a little bit of, one of those information gathering videos from you all. I can only speak to what I am seeing in my local scene. So first, I'd like to throw it out there before we kind of start chatting today. What are you all seeing at your local shows? Or if you get out to a regional show, something bigger like a Ships or a Philly or a Chantilly or the West Coast Card Show or whatever it is. This is typically a good show time of year. Christmas, things slow down. Beginning of the year rolls around. Everyone is chomping at the bit, and it always seems like that first quarter heading in the spring does gangbusters on the show scene. This weekend's the Philly show. I'm not able to make this one, but I have to imagine that one's going to be bumping as well. I am fresh off the Shipshawana show, which was an absolutely crazy busy show. My local shows, as I discussed for many years now, I live in the land of 1,000 local shows. I could go to a 50 to 100 table card show pretty much almost every weekend, if not 2 in a weekend. They are packed. I was at a 700 table Pittsburgh card show about a month ago. Packed. As we discussed, Ships, packed. I've heard some various comments from people seeing similar things at their local shows around the country as well. So, this time is booming for shows almost like clockwork. Now, I don't know if it's just the tax returns or, like I said, people have put the Christmas stuff behind them and they're ready to move forward. Shows this time of year absolutely crush it. Just absolutely crush it. And I think that's momentum's going to carry for a little bit. And as we've discussed on the channel, then you get into the summer. Once you get through the spring, later spring, everyone starts focusing in on the national, I think. And also life becomes busy. School lets out. People are on vacations. You got summer activities keeping you busy. The weather's nice outside. The wife or husband wants you to go do things outside or go off and gallivant across the countryside on the weekends. Things then tend to slow down a little bit. Fall comes around. What do we got? Back to school, head into the holidays, money gets tighter, rinse and repeat this same cycle over and over again. Not that certain shows won't be busy all year round, but that's just usually the general vibe of the show scene and really that kind of the hobby at large, whether you're at a show or not. Now, we have 2 big temple shows this year, obviously coming up, the National in August/July and Fanatics Fest in late June. I'm still on the fence about Fanatics Fest. I will most likely be there, but that is not 100% locked in yet. Now, a little bit of a different twist on shows to start the year this year, because something is different. Since about Christmas, something has changed. And that is the infection of Charizards and Pokemons and Pikachus. Those have been taking shows over bit by bit for about the last 3 to 4 months. I've been noticing it more at my locals, with more tables being taken over by either strictly Pokemon dealers or people that were traditionally sports cards only, now suddenly starting to dabble in the Pikachus a little bit. I think that, like it or not, if you're just a sports card collector, you might get annoyed by it. But I think that has also helped boost traffic to shows because people are starting to come just for the Pokemon cards. Now, whether they buy sports cards or not, I don't know, but it still injects more money into the room. The repackers and whatnotters and those types of people are still out in full force. At Shipshawana, I got cleared out at trade night by a repacker within 3 minutes of the doors to trade night being open, bought pretty much half the stuff I had out on the table for anywhere from 90% to full comp. I had my stuff pre-priced. He looked, he was like, oh, that one's good. Oh, can you do like 5%, 10% off this? Yeah, sure. Good. Done. Put it in the pile. Those boys and girls are still buying strong for the repackers and the people buying low to mid end that are flipping it on Whatnot live streams and that sort of stuff. And they were out in full force at Ships. It's a 2-day show. Usually day 1 / preview day is where a lot of that buying goes on. And then Saturday is usually more the general hobbyist buying. Not that the other stuff doesn't go on. I am still very wary of the fact that if that business ever slows down, that it will have trickle-down effects to the rest of the market. We'll see what happens if the Pokemon stuff slows down. How does that trickle out to the rest of the market? Now, I don't know how much the Pokemon boom is impacting the sports card world. I'm sure some of that cash is flipping over like indirectly because there's a lot of people that do crossover and do both. But I'm sure primarily it's its own ecosystem off over here doing its thing with a little bit of overlap there. A little bit of overlap. But card shows continue to go crazy. Listen, I get it. Everyone loves the hobby's dying. Oh my, everything's going to zero. This, that. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I get it. I would encourage you to just go out to one of your local shows, or if you have a regional show, that gives you a really good pulse of what is going on. Even if you don't want to buy a thing. Maybe you think every dealer is an idiot and you hate people. It's still worth it. If you're actually in this, semi-seriously, you can learn a lot just walking around a show floor and listening. You don't even have to interact with a single person if you don't want to. Just walk around with your ears open, listen to what people are talking about, stand at a table, listen to someone negotiate, listen to what people are looking for, listen to what buyers, what dealers, what percentages they want to buy at. Are sellers willing to move at those prices? That's still something that's going on right now. Dealers have to be paying stronger right now to get inventory because of the Whatnotters and the repackers. Buying stuff up, still paying very strong. Why am I going to sell to a dealer at 80%? Maybe even 85%, which 85% is an extremely fair number. You're going to lose 13% to eBay fees anyway. And then you're getting cash. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to ship anything. It's great. But why would I sell to them for 80 or 85 when there is a decent chance someone might be rolling around looking to pay 90 or 95? That's what happened to me. Friday night, I didn't sell anything to dealers. I waited patiently for trade night. I moved a bunch of stuff at trade night. The few things I had left over that I didn't want to come home with, I then went and chatted with the dealers the next day. Sold a couple other things off that I wanted to get rid of. Card shows are booming, though. They are, at least, like I said, I can only speak to the ones around me. I would like to know what you are all seeing out there. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.